Hello, in this video I'm going to discuss reflux because this got brought up in the comments yesterday. People think reflux is too much acid because you get a reflux of acid, okay? So when I look at my friends and my family, I've got family that suffer with reflux, it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart because, one, people don't understand what diets, what foods are creating the reflux. So people think, there's a misunderstanding when people think of what's acid and what's alkaline going in the body, okay? Like my dad said, for example, lemons are acidic, and I said that meat is acidic. To my understanding, it's not necessarily that's how it works. The acid, the too much acid comes from the body having to create more acid to break down what the body's ingesting, okay? So if you're eating a load of red meat and potatoes, for example, a load of white bread, a lot of gluten and things like this, the body needs to create more acid to break it down. Now, this is actually the cause of osteoporosis, because when the body needs to create more acid, it then needs to try and neutralize the acid, the excess acid it's created, okay? This is a massive burden, digestive burden on the body as well. This is why if people eat a lot of meat, big Christmas dinner, what do? They just pass out, okay? Because the body's just working its arse off to try and break it down. So when the body has too much acid because of the acid it's had to create, it neutralizes it with phosphate, and the bones are made of calcium phosphate. So the body actually pulls phosphate out of the bones and brings calcium with it, and therefore having a diet that needs too much acid to break it down actually creates osteoporosis, because to neutralize the excess acid it has to bring phosphate out the bones, okay? So it's a real vicious cycle, really vicious cycle. Then what happens is you have reflux because the body's had to create all this excess acid, and then what do? You take an antacid, okay? You take something that neutralizes the acid, and it's actually already because of weak acids in the gut. It's a weak gut. Then you start getting a weak esophagus. You can get like hiatal hernias and things like this. So first, I would suggest changing your diet. Dairy. Go cut out dairy for a period of time. Clive de Carle I really love Clive de Carle. He, for me, does make health simple as well. And a lot of the stuff that I share comes from Clive de Carle and some of the people he's interviewed. He says the milk that we drink now is not like what we used to drink. The creamy colour, this is where people, cream of the crop came from. Cream was always a cream colour, and it was full of the right fats, and it wasn't necessarily that bad for us, because we never had that much of it neither back in the day. Might have a little bit of milk here, there, everywhere, straight from the cows in the field. Now it's pasteurised and it's white. He said if you showed our great grandparents white milk, they wouldn't know what it was. It was always cream. So now it's full of pus because of factory farming. So a lot of these cows that are getting factory farmed, they get all type of cysts and ulcers, and it's full of pus. And there's actually a name that they put on the cartons now that say it's pus. Then they have to put all these chemicals in to try and neutralize the pus and all the rest of it. Long story short, you end up with milk that's just really inflammatory to the body, right? It's why people get phlegmy when they drink a lot of milk. And plus, we're not cows, so we're drinking the wrong milk anyway. But cut out dairy for a bit, give it a go, and have juices or smoothies that are mainly fruits and vegetables, and slowly just give the body a breather, okay? It's all you're doing. You're just letting the body you know, if you're working a machine all the time at 100%, just give it a break, change the oil, you know what I'm saying? Give it a service, same as you would with your car. Give it a break. So another thing is I'm going to put into this video is salts. Salts are so important because we are electrical beings, okay? And whenever I share how conductivity works, people always think, oh, being conductive is a bad thing, because they think of being heavy metals and things like that being conductive to electromagnetic frequencies like Wi-Fi's and things like that. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the pH balance in the body and conductivity. If you eat a load of sugary food, you eat a big bowl of ice cream, you get tired. That's because sugar is not conductive, and it creates an acidic environment. So your body is just basically not conductive. Okay, it's not conductive to electricity. Salt is conductive. Okay, so I use two that you should mix up your salt. This is I got put onto this by an athlete in Australia, an Olympic athlete in Australia. I can't remember his name now. This is a Nutri-Salt. This is one of the oldest salts you can get, but it's a rock salt. Okay, so rock salt, this tastes delicious, but rock salts and Celtic salts have very different properties and benefits in the body. So I put this on food sometimes, right? It tastes delicious, but a Celtic salt is very, very important and has so many benefits. A Celtic salt will have a sell-by date on it. That sell-by date doesn't mean that the salt goes off, because salts will last a very long time. But when you get Celtic salt, it's damp, okay? This is why it's damp, because in the when they do them, they generally they're in the Mediterranean, but there's like, I live in Australia, there's a lot of places that evaporate sea salt in around Australia. They typically do it in an algae bloom. So what happens is when they naturally dry it in the sun, the ocean water, it's got a lot of living properties, living organisms in there. Very beneficial to the body. Andreas Kalka, again, great research. He had a load of livestock, or his friend had a lot of livestock. They did an experiment. They give each of the cows every day fresh water, a bowl of fresh water, a bowl of ocean water, okay? And they noticed that the cows, every cow drank two or 3 fresh water, 1 ocean water. They just knew. 2 or 3, then 1. 2 to 1 or 3 to 1, I can't remember what it was. And he started treating people with ocean water. Now when you look at the body being a micro version of the earth, the salt ratio in our body is the same as the ocean. The water, the percentage of water to the earth is the same percentage of water in the body. Okay, Grandmother Parisha says that the amount of trees that should be naturally in abundance is the same as neurons in the body. We are a micro of the earth. So I drink ocean water every time I get in the ocean. I try and get in every day. I drink ocean water. If I ever go for a run, right, if I go for a run on the beach, I'll run along the beach, and then when I need a drink, I'll jump in the ocean and I'll drink ocean water. A lot of people are thinking, oh, what you know, we're so conditioned that it's bad for us. How on earth can it be bad for us? Clive de Carle shares a researcher from France, I think it was, early in the 1900s. He was injecting ocean water straight into the veins of dogs and animals that were dying, and they were coming good. Then, and you can still find this guy, I'm so sorry I can't remember his name. I'll try and find it and put it on a video. But you can still find him on Google apparently. He got permission back in the day to treat terminally ill kids. And he was injecting ocean water straight into the veins of these kids that were dying. They were all coming good, okay? This basically, they still do it today, but it's saline injections. But when you think about the ocean water, it's alive, okay? It's flowing, it's moving. It's got all the magnetic properties of nature, of the earth. This is why you can go into a float tank and have a great experience and get the benefits of all the salts. But it's not unlike, in my opinion, it's not unlike sitting in the ocean. In the ocean, you feel revitalized, recharged and energized. We're 90% water. you feel completely recharged by the ocean. Anyway, this is another product. If you're in Australia, you might be able to get it around the world. I'll show you that. This is an Australian company, and these concentrate ocean water. This is sea minerals. Tastes potent, very strong taste. Very good for you. It's got all your trace minerals: sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, sulfur and carbon, all from the ocean. Okay, so you can get products like this. But even just taking a Celtic salt, this helps with reflux. If you take a teaspoon of this in water an hour or so before you eat, this can help your stomach acids, okay, with reflux. This can help so many things, can give you energy, makes you more conductive. Again, very good, because a true Celtic salt should feel damp. It's got algae in there. It's got all the benefits of that. But here's another little secret. I made a video of MMS and CBS. What they activate MMS with now is a 4% or 4.5%. Some people are actually making 5% hydrochloric acid. Okay? Hydrochloric acid. Now you can buy this from the websites, or you can just look and you'll find this. I reckon Amazon will sell this. What is hydrochloric acid? Hydrochloric acid is the acid of our stomach. That's what it is. So this is only 4.5%. If you suffer from reflux, you can get a glass of water, just put 10 drops of this. Start off small, okay? Always start off small. Start off with 5, see if it helps, or 10. Build up to 10. 40 minutes or an hour before you eat, just have a glass of water with 5 to 10 drops of this 4.5% or 4% hydrochloric acid, and it will get rid of it will strengthen your stomach acids. Don't think it's going to make too much acid, okay? This is the first mistake. Acid reflux is not too much acid. So let's go back and recap. Change your diet first. Usually, in fact, most of the time, you will suffer with reflux because you have got a diet that is creating too much inflammation and needs the body to create too much acid to break it down. That excess acid damages the wall of your gut, of your stomach. It weakens your esophagus, comes up. That's what reflux is. Then the body has to work to neutralize that acid, which creates osteoporosis because it pulls phosphate from the body. So give your body a breather, come off a lot of meats, bread, shit bread, gluten, white bread. Get rid of white bread. Get rid of sugars, okay? And this all creates, even changes your breathing. When you're acidic, you breathe differently, you breathe shallow. This actually affects your mindset then. A lot of people are anxious. Diet can affect that, okay? So you'll start feeling a bit more clarity, start feeling less inflammation, a bit more supple in the body, okay? If you have real bad acid reflux, so diet first. Try Celtic salt. It's really simple, okay? Just Celtic salt in a little bit of water, stir it up and drink it. And remember, most of us are walking around like 12-year-old kids, adults in adults' bodies. You try and give a 12-year-old kid medicine or food, oh no, I don't want to take it. Really start being adults, okay? Start thinking, you know what? I'm an adult. This food isn't serving my body, and I'm going to stop doing it, okay? I'm an adult. Salt might not taste too good at first, but you know what? I can deal with it. I'll have it. I might put a little bit of lemon with it or whatever. Let's start being a bit grown up. And also, try this. Very effective. These things can really help with reflux. Take care.